Hi, everyone. It's so good to have you here on Zoom, which is weird, but okay, we're going to do this. Let me let you know, first off, this is my very first Zoom. Like, I know I'm super late to the party. This is my first Zoom that I've ever done that I wasn't invited to. So be patient with me if there's any glitches along the way, but I think we got this. How's everyone doing? Great. Let's wait creatively. Let's wait a little bit to see who else is entering. I just want everybody to be on time. Oh, excited to hear from you as well. This is going to be pretty cool. We're going to have a little chat about business, but about the soul. All right, are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Wonderful. Hello, everyone. My name is Neffi Walker. Okay, I am the owner of The Black Home. I'm an interior designer. I make products and I design furniture. Okay, and it wasn't always that. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about my backstory, and then you can understand throughout this course, why I got to this place and why this place is important with following your gut. All right. So prior to being an interior designer, First, let's ask, where's everybody from? Is New York in the house? Oh my God, everybody's from everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, and God bless Texas right now because they're going through it, like seriously. All right, Bay Area in the house. All right, cool. So let me tell you a little bit about my backstory, right? Before I was an interior designer, I obviously worked for the NBA. I did events and I not coached, but I created these basketball camps for young NBA hopefuls. I did that for about 10 years. When I got pregnant with my fourth child, I say fifth because I adopted one. So let's just rock with fifth right now. When I got pregnant with Niall, I was going through something that I didn't ever go through before. It was just a tsunami of emotions and feelings that was really called PTSD, right? So being pregnant with Niall totally flipped my brain into a space where I didn't know who I was or what I was doing or what was happening next, right? Because of PTSD, I kind of lost my voice, literally lost my words. And I knew that in order for me to get out of the funk, I had to do something. So that something was I needed to connect with my soul in some sort of way and meet up with people. How do I meet up with people if I'm, in the suburbs around kids all day? I needed to get out, right? I knew that I didn't want to go back to a 9 to 5 sort of situation. I knew that I wanted to do something entrepreneurial, but I didn't know exactly what that was. While I was in this new space, my new home, I was decorating. And I knew that decorating made me feel happy. So at the age of, I think I was 35 at the time, I'm like, okay, decorating, taking care of this home makes me feel happy. How do I put my happiness into a career? Interior design, right? Mind you, had no experience at all, but I knew that I had an eye and I had a bomb ass way of like getting things done. So with that being said, in order for me to talk to people, I needed to go out of my home and I got a storefront. I know it sounds like a big thing, but it was a tiny, tiny little space. It cost like $700, $800 a month. And with having the storefront, I knew that would force me to talk to people. And while I'm talking to people, I can sell them products that I actually love, which at that time, it was called Le Noir Home, right? we'll get to that in a second. So I had this small space, and of course, I had Instagram, and the space became a magnet, a therapy place for women to come physically meet me, and we talked about everything. So I would always joke about the sofas were like therapy sessions. Every single day, somebody was in there crying. And I know some of my girlfriends, who are my girlfriends now, who I met during those times, are in this class. So you know that that's true. It was amazing. It got me out of my funk. And I knew right then, my gut told me, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Now, let's figure this out, right? Let me show you. I think the next slide might be the store. Am I right? No, that's more of me, right? So, okay, so let's talk about this really quickly. So, with that being said, starting the store back then, we'll show a slide of the store back in its like the old store, right? I knew that now that I have this space and I have this business, I wanted to work with clients. This was my ultimate goal. I need to work with clients. Working with clients was pretty cool, but one thing that it did is it took me away from my family, and I wasn't going to. It felt like a job after a while. I wasn't around my daughter as much, and I was having grandchildren. Could you believe that? I was having grandchildren, and I wanted to be in their life. So, how do I pivot? Like, what exactly do I do to change from clients to still being in interior design? So I decided to create products. And it was really that simple. The smallest product that I could create at the time was a candle, right? Because I feel like design comes in light form, it comes in fragrance, it comes in all different kinds of forms. And I said, okay, we're going to make a candle. And the perfectionist in me, it took about 9 months to create a candle that I absolutely loved. And I knew that I can put it into the universe. And now we have six different fragrances. So that's pretty awesome. And we also have utensils, like we've added to that. But another product that we created with Verna Fogg, who's an amazing artist. I love her to death. And we're going to talk about dipping into your network. Because your network is like, it's your wealth, right? If you have good friends and good people around you, it really helps you. If you help them, they help you, right? So Berner and I was talking about, how do we get ahead? What are some things that we could do together, just to make life easier? And then we came up with this amazing wallpaper that everybody seems to be digging. So I love that as well. So that's a little bit on me. Let's see, what's the next frame? That's me some more. So that's the wallpaper inside of my daughter's room. That's the first edit that we did. And again, when you have a business, you're going to go through many different changes. You have to be okay with the changes that you're going through, right? And that's what this is about. That's what this class is about. This class is about, of course, we're going to talk about traditional things to get yourself going, but it really is about, what is your gut telling you? What do you know that you need to do to be great? Because we're going to be great, right? All right, great. All right, so let's take a poll. How many of you already own a business? Look at you guys. All right, great. So it's like, all right, this is wonderful. So there are people in here who have businesses. Hi guys. And there are people in here that are about to be wonderful business owners. I'm here for you. I understand both sides. So welcome. I really hope that this helps. For those of you just getting started, how do you feel about starting a business? Oh my God. Okay, so I love the excitement, but I also love the stuck. I feel you. We're going to work on that. I'm going to get you unstuck right now. All right. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for taking that poll. And here is a video of back in the days, Lenora Home. So that's me back in the day, right? It's so crazy because my kids were working with me. They still work with me. But we sold art. The walls were still black. Oh, we're gonna, ottomans. I love an ottoman. They'll be in the new store. It's my daughter cleaning. So as you can see, this is like a family affair. Because when I first started, I didn't have like money to hire people to do anything, right? At all, right? So that was a good jog down memory lane. All right, so let's see the next slide. All right, so we are going to talk about the key things that you need to have traditionally, being that there are a lot of people in here that do not have businesses as of yet. I know that for the people that have businesses, this might seem, just a little elementary, but we all have to start from somewhere. And you'd be surprised how many people don't build a foundation. All right, my key essentials to just getting started. One, developing a clear understanding of what it is that you want to have to offer. I mean, what do you want to do, right? What floats your boat? What makes you feel like this is the idea that's going to make sense to me, right? I mean, think about it. I was telling someone the other day that you might have a hair bonnet and a million other people might have a hair bonnet. But guess what? Your hair bonnet is your hair bonnet, right? And that is what you market. You market the love, you market the soul, the sweat, and the tears, right? And you try to give it a little spin on why yours is very important, not why yours is better than anybody else's. Focus on yourself, right? What do you want to offer? What? That's it, right? Okay. Simple enough, right? But you'd be surprised, a lot of people just get stuck right there, right? In order to start, guess what? You got to start, right? Okay. All right. So now, two, coming up with the name. What exactly should the name be for that particular item, right? I'll give you a funny ass example, right? So you saw the frame before with the video. So my first store was called Lee Noir Home, right? Lee Noir Home. Okay, my daughter's Haitian. So here I am trying to, Lee Noir Home, right? The Black home, okay? People would come in the store all the time and just ask me, are you Lenore? I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. Lenore, what? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the store name? No, that means the Black home. So I would always tell people, no, that means this, that means that. I was explaining something that I thought was so simple until one day somebody came in and she said, girl, what does that name mean? And I said, it means the Black home in French. She said, why? This ain't France. Duh. It made sense to me. I said, okay, great. You know what? You're absolutely right. This isn't France. Let me stop being so extra. Let's just break this down to some simplistic times, right? And I named it the Black home. And at the time, because I didn't operate in fear, and we'll get to that a little bit later, because that's a big chunk of what this class is about, right? At the time, I didn't think about, oh my God, I've been branding Lenore Home. What if I lose people, or what if people don't understand it? We're changing it. That's it. All aboard. Let's go. Just that simple. All right. So it is imperative that you pivot. You have to know how to pivot. You have to be okay with your decisions as an entrepreneur. You just have to. All right. So now you love up on the Black home and not Lenora Home. Isn't that great? All right. Registering your business as a LLC or obtaining an EIN number. A lot of people don't know that an EIN number is free. It's free. You can get one right after you get off this class right now, okay? You just look it up online. It takes all of maybe like 2 minutes, all right? You need your EIN number for tax purposes. You don't want to be Little Wayne, Martha Stewart. You don't want all that mess, all right? So you need to get your business and your foundation in check. These are traditional, standard things that you need to do. They're very simple, very easy, okay? Registering a business for an LLC. Registering your business or an LLC. I went to LegalZoom. It did me well, okay? I suggest LegalZoom. If you want to start an LLC or an incorporation or whatever, right? Your EIN number, you're going to need, and your papers, your article of incorporation, you will need to start banking, which is number 4, right? You need certain paperwork in order to get your banking in order. You need to, even if you make $2, right? You need to make sure that all of this paperwork is in order. And you need to make sure that somebody is watching over your money if you're not the type of person to be able to do so. I know that I am not. Although I know a lot about accounting, I watch my money, but I'm not as good as I need to be in order to run a business because I'm too busy creating. So now at this point, I do have an accountant, okay? And I have business banking. I have 2 sets of business banking, right? Maybe this will help you. I have a community bank that I work with within this community here, right? I go in all the time. I give people coffee, I chit chat and everything. They know me well. If a community bank, I feel, is great if you need a small loan, they know what you're doing in the community, right? So they're more willing to help you. I personally feel like that's important. I also feel like it's important to open up in a bigger business bank as well, just so that way you can pull out a lot bigger loans. You can pull out more money per day. Like it just flows a little bit easier as your business is growing. These 2 things are very important. As far as accounting goes, I dipped into my network and I asked around for who is the best accountant, to my friends, and they suggested some people. I sat with them, and the person that made me feel the best, I rocked with, right? I listened to my gut, and it's been working ever since. So far, she hasn't stolen any money, so we're good. All right, great. Number 5, trademarking and protecting your brand. Trademarking. Let me tell you a little story real quick, okay? Before I came up with all these businesses here, back in the days, I had this business that was called Divas Inc. Don't laugh, all right? This was back in the Black Planet days. Whoop, whoop, MySpace Black Planet, right? And I was trying to think of a way to have women get together online, kind of like Facebook, right? But I didn't know exactly how I was going to go about doing it. So I was like in the beginning stages. I told a friend about it, a friend. And she told me the warning signs. I should have paid attention. Hey, did you trademark this? It's a great idea. I was like, nah, girl, don't have the money to trademark right now. I'll do it in a couple of months, right? Mind you, a couple of months came and went. And when I went to go trademark, guess who trademarked it? My friend did. How crazy, right? I was so butthurt. Like it was terrible, terrible, terrible. But dead ass, that taught me a lesson. And the lesson is my brand has to be protected across all boards, no matter what. I think that this is the most important, right? Trademarking, although expensive, it's more expensive for you to lose your business that you've been building all this time because you didn't secure your name, right? I mean, it was a blow, but it won't happen no more. I've learned my lesson. And I hope that that story helps you to get those coins up, right? And know that once you have your name, you register your business, right? And you have all that together, trademark it. I'm telling you, you have to protect your brand. I used the Biz Lawyer. She's on Instagram. don't know her name off the top of my head right now, but she was awesome. It was a two-step process. They took care of everything. Look her up, I suggest. She didn't pay me for this. It is what it is. I'm just trying to tell you what I did to help you out, right? All right, great. And then branding and your visual identity to connect with your audience, right? Branding is so important. I'm an OG, so things are different. Like branding back in the days used to be, pull up, pop trunk, get these sweaters, right? Nowadays, it's so much easier because you have Instagram, you have Shopify, like you have a website that you can go to. If you can't go in your network, right, and find someone in your network that you rock with, that you feel like this is a good connection, okay, to build a website for you, then you can get a template. It's not that hard anymore. Back in my days, you had to like program code. You guys have it easy. So get that. I know when we were about to launch the Black Home, my friend Angela Benton, who doesn't even really do websites, she does like all the Streamletics stuff. She whipped up a website for me really quickly, and I am to this day very thankful for that. So you have these steps. These are foundational steps that you need to get your life, right? To be bossy, and to get everything together. These are important. You don't have a business if you don't have this. So make sure you take a picture of this because you got to be great, right? All right, perfect. All right. So now that we talked about the traditional way of starting a business, I want to touch base on things that I feel are important that maybe a lot of people don't talk about, right? Okay. I am an energy person. I'm an empath. I just can't have everybody around me. Some people disturb my peace, okay? And that goes in business and it goes in personal, right? So when you're starting a business guided by intuition, you have to figure out what feels good to you, right? Not really like what feels good for this day, but just like in this moment, how do I listen to my gut? How do I listen to my insides to know that this is a good product? This is what I need to do. Like, how do I flush this out? You have to just stop, honestly meditate, right? Sit, take some time for yourself, right? And just think. I know it sounds silly. It sounds really silly now that I'm saying it, but I'm telling you, without listening to my gut, honestly, now with everything, I wouldn't be where I am today. It literally stopped me from making some of the most horrible decisions in my life by just knowing that the universe, God, whatever you pray to, right, can tell you, okay, this is a good idea. You can feel it. It's just like, this is a good idea. Okay, maybe this is not a good idea. You know, right? So when you're starting your business, listen to that. It's gonna guide you. It's important. Number two, naysayers are a no-go, right? Naysayers, nope, bye, white noise. I don't hear none of y'all. There's nothing for you to say. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. This is not a competition. I'm done with that, right? That's how I think of anybody that is not on Planet Neffi, right? If you're not on Planet Neffi, when it comes to my business, there's really nothing for us to talk about, all right? Naysayers can come in the form of, honestly, your best friends. Naysayers can come in the form of family members. I know that I get a lot of DMs, God bless, from people who say, I want to do this, or, I have dreams of being, an entrepreneur, but, my mother wants me to be a lawyer. And I'm not even talking about young girls. I'm talking about like women my age, just stuck in that space where they're used to someone telling them that they're not able to get something done. If you let somebody tell you that you're not able to get something done, guess what? It's going to be harder for you to get it done, right? So you kind of have to figure out how to block people out of your energy so that way you can let your energy flow so you can receive what you're supposed to get. And that goes for everything, relationship, everything. Please, I'm telling you, I'm 46, okay? I've hit auntie status. I know, I understand. These are some gems, I'm telling you. They worked for me for my life. All right, getting out of your own way. I have to say, honestly, some people might argue with me. That's fine. This is Zoom. You can't argue with me too much. Get out your own way, sis. Get out of your own way. Like, I'm telling you, those naysayers sometimes get so embedded into your brain that before you even start something, you're telling yourself that you're not able to do it. Seriously. Nah, I can't do this because, I'm working a business. I'm trying to work this business, but I'm a mom. I have to do this. I have to work this 9 to 5, although it makes me feel crazy. But I have this great idea. But oh my God, who am I to think that I can even have a great idea? You have to learn how to talk to yourself in a way where it's kind and it's nice. All right. I remember when I was going through my PTSD time, I was very indecisive about life, everything in general. It was a mess, right? It was the first time that I really had like doubt about things, and it was just weird to me. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, when I would hear myself say quietly, nah, that's not going to work, I would out loud say, nope, it's going to work. That's it. We're doing it. I didn't know if we were going to do it or not, but I trained myself to shut myself up with those thoughts. I'm telling you, it was habitual the way that I was thinking negatively about myself. And I know that a lot of people talk about this all the time, and they talk about the importance of, positive thought. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. You will talk yourself out of starting anything. And if you can't start it, you won't know how great you are. Like, if you don't start it, then what's the point? Be great. Yeah. All right. Let's go. All right. That brings us to fear is foolish. Fear is foolish. My 3 rules when it comes to fear, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about fear. Next slide. Okay. See that? You cannot see, feel, or touch fear. That's factual, right? So this fear that you might have about whatever it is that you have, it's not real. I know that this sounds elementary, but I'm telling you, there is no such thing as fear. There isn't. You cannot feel it. You tell yourself that you're fearful of XYZ. I'm fearful of, or I used to be fearful of heights. I say God made me short because I'm scared of heights. And now I climb mountains. I'm still a little, jiggly, but I do it, right? You know why? Because fear is not going to take over me, and fear is not going to take over you. Not at all. All right, next slide. All right. Fear can come in the form of those around you with negative speech. Beware of your surroundings. We just spoke about that, right? People who tell you that you're not capable of doing something will really have you feel like you're not capable of doing something. Point blank, right? I have a family member who will tell me till the day he dies that I'm not capable of doing all the things that I'm doing. Ciao, bye. Listen, you go do that with your life over there. Over here, we're going to be great, right? Block it out. No fear, nothing. Perfect. All right. Make a decision to be kind to yourself. Know you are capable and forge ahead, right? You are capable of starting your business. You are. You have now some foundations. If you didn't take care of it already, you can, right? They're very simple steps. You have your idea, right? All you have to do is start. How to start is to start, right? And I'll tell you something that my friend Allison told me once, and it saved my life. She said, you have to be patient with being patient with yourself, right? So along this road, just understand that there will be bumps and bruises, right? And even times where it just seems unbearable, but it's your baby, right? And you got this. Be kind to yourself. Talk good to yourself. I'm telling you it works, right? Know you are capable and go be great. It's 2021. We're just going to be great. All right. All right. Now that you have all of those things set, right? The designer in me, the interior designer in me, is going to help you a little bit with some very basic things that I feel you need as a human being, right? To create your space, okay? All right, creating a space for you to think freely. All right, number one, your space, your rules, you dictate what's best for you, take into account your needs to get your work done, and maintain maximum productivity. What does that mean? For example, in my house, I don't know how many people follow me here, but you've seen me create 3 different offices in my house. I was always trying to create an office because I was looking for a space, right? For me to like be able to create until I realized I can't do it in my house. I had to get outside of my house and be in an office. It took those moments for me to know that I needed to change because the creativity had to flow, right? In order for my business to be successful, I come up with all of the ideas, right? So I needed to be in a space that was conducive to that, right? Once I got in that space, setting it up. So setting up a space for your energy to flow, right? So take inventory of what you love versus what you like. If it can go, just let it go. Purging is really important. With a lot of my clients, I find that honestly, they have a lot of things that they need inside of their space. They just needed to purge some things and then bring life to the things that they have already that are important to them, right? I'll give you an example. I have a client who now turned friend, who was a wonderful director, right? And when I did the walkthrough for his house, he didn't really have a space to create. It was weird to me because he does all these wonderful things. Where is your personal space to create in this house? Crazy, right? He had one room full of, it had to have been 10 million sneakers. He's a sneakerhead, right? And the way he talked about his sneakers, you would think that he was talking about one of his children. He loves his sneakers, right? So when we got to a space where we can finally think about creating for him, I suggested, hey, why don't you bring out some of the sneakers that you really love? We can encase it inside of the space. And then when you go inside every day for you to create, you can see the things that you actually love, right? He was enthralled. It just seems simple to me, right? But again, I feel like that's important. So, and I feel like you just need to embrace all of the things that you love around you in order for that energy to flow, right? So purge, get rid of the things that you don't need, be gone with it. And then once you purge, right, add to the space things that you might really need or things that are missing. Do you need a new chair, right? Do you need a plant? This is Herman. We love Herman, right? Herman makes me happy, right? So, like, what do you need? Small things to put inside of your space now that you've purged all the other things. So that way you have a complete space so you can create, let the energy flow, kick back, and sign some checks and sign some contracts, right? All right. All right. How do you turn your dream into a goal? Let's figure that out. All right. For me, I'm going to talk about what I did, and talking about what I did hopefully helps you, right? Number one, what do you want to accomplish? What are you doing this for? Right? Like, seriously, what's the point? Is the point to make you happy? Is the point to make you feel more gratitude? Do you want to help and service anybody? Like, what exactly is the point of you doing all of this, right? My point in doing the Black home is because I felt like in the home space, we were underrepresented, period, right? I also felt like a lot of people, I love Black walls. I love Black culture, Black everything, right? So my purpose in doing the Black home is to create an environment where Black is celebrated. Black culture, color to culture, celebrate it. You're gonna take these Black walls. Because I was too annoyed with people bright and white. We don't want to do bright and white. We're gonna do something else. We're gonna be great. We're gonna invent something. And we're gonna figure it out. How about that? Right? So that was my like goal in all of it, to just show culture in a way that we know it to be, period, whether you like it or not. Who loves it is going to rock with it, right? That made me happy. When I came to that conclusion, right, I made a list, right? So let's just baby steps here, because I feel like as entrepreneurs, we go through a cycle of overwhelmment. Now, I know that a lot of people say, what's your 5-year goal? What's your 3-year goal? For me, I'm talking about me, and hopefully this helps you. I can't do a 5-year goal. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow. Like, I need to write it down. I just need to baby step. I need to see 3 to 6 months, right, on how I can get closer to this goal. That's it. It's not that hard. And then once I do these baby steps, I tend to get rid of all of the things that I had on my list. And then guess what? Make another list. We're set for another list soon, right? Dominique is here. We're about to do another list. We checked off the store, we checked off all kinds of stuff. It took baby steps. All those baby steps became a giant leap. You got this, right? For the 9-to-5ers, full-time entrepreneurship is a goal. What do you need as an exit plan, right? I get a lot of people in my DMs, even like people that I'm close to, that want to leave their job but are fearful because they are scared of the unknown, right? I don't give advice when it comes to that, because I don't want anybody being mad at me in case, your work ethic is different from mine and like you don't succeed. Let's just say that, right? But one thing I do say all the time is I have 5 children and I did it. Nobody starved. You can do this, right? You can do this. Like, dead ass, you can do this, right? What do you need to have an exit plan? Do you need 6 months of savings? Are you going to work towards that? Do you have a 401k? Are you going to put some of that into your business? What exactly do you need in order for you to feel safe and for you to feel secure, right? Once you decide that, okay, entrepreneurship is for me, this idea that I have, that I love, it's going to work, right? Make sure that you're safe. You have a safe zone. We don't want homelessness. That's not great. You want to forge ahead the smart way. All right. All right. A major key to build success. Build a team. Start with your network, right? Build a team, guys. Delegate so you can focus on what you're good at. I find that a lot of creatives you can't do everything. I want to say that I do everything. I don't. I can't. I cannot, right? I'll give you a good example, right? Dominique is sitting over here. She's real quiet, okay? Dealing with my gut. So when Dominique first came to me, we met off of Instagram, right? And at the time, she wanted to do PR. And she would give me these leads. She would just give me these leads from out of nowhere. Hey, I think that this might help, right? And I just like, who's this girl? It's so nice of her. That's kind of her to do that, because these things really do help, right? And that turned into a, hey, can I have your phone number? And that turned into a call. And that turned into her coming and facilitating with an event that we have called Goddess Glamping, right? She's been by my side every step of the way. We're now partners in this. And I've felt it in my gut that we needed to do this. She felt like family, right? Family that doesn't steal from you. But I trust that she's going to take care of the things that she's going to take care of because I've paid attention. And you just have to, although it's your baby, sometimes you gotta let people babysit it. Can't bring your baby to work, right? I'm talking about actual babies. You can't bring your baby to work. So you can't do everything, right? Delegate. I always say, hire people who are kind. My job interviews, I ask all kinds of questions. I want to know, how do you feel about your mom? Do you volunteer? Like, I need to know who you are as a person in order to see if you will be able to deal with people here. Because what I need, right, for the Black home is I need the people that are surrounded around me to treat the people like a warm hug, right? So hire people, when you build a team, hire people that are kind. It's not gonna curse you out and give you stress. You don't need no stress, all right? Hire people who work well or thrive under pressure. I have a lot of A-type personalities around me, right? They stress over things I don't stress about. Therefore, a lot of things get done that I didn't even think about. Hire a team, right? Pay attention to your intuition when interviewing. What does your gut say? I've been in interviews where I've straight up been like, I'm sorry. No, my spirit does not take to yours. And I know I sound crazy in that moment, and I know that I've just got a new enemy. But if my spirit doesn't take to your spirit, there's nothing we can do. Like, you're supposed to be working here for me, and I can't have that kind of, I can't have that. I just can't have that. So for me, that makes sense. I'm very clear and concise in the beginning. I know what I need. I listen to my gut. I keep it moving, right? It saves a lot of time. Pay attention to who the universe brings. I do this with everything. I don't know if you guys do this, but I really pay attention to everything, right? I'll be somewhere weird and random. We'll have some weird guy just start talking to me about something I thought was weird. But then when I really listen to it, I'm like, oh, okay. I pay attention to everything around me all of the time. I even pay attention to people that don't say things that I know they need to be said. Pay attention to who's to the loud, and pay attention to the silence. I'm telling you, you can build a team. Even if it's a team, we only have a team of four here, right? They run all operations. We have to hire more people for the store. So it's just luck. That's how we build a team with your gut. All right. So we're going to class recap this. All right. So what are things that you've learned today in this class? I feel like I didn't really teach a class. I just felt like we were just talking about. I felt like this was a phone call. It's so simple, right? So translate your creative goal into a business model, right? Get started. Get started. You can't start anything if you don't start anything. These are simple gems, but I'm telling you, like, sometimes you need somebody to tell you you got this. You could you could do this. You're great. Like, for real, you're great. If you have that idea, get it out there. People will rock with you regardless, right? All right, wonderful. Starting a business guided by intuition. I think that we covered that very well. You know that you know what you know. God is talking to you all the time. The universe is always there with you, right? Listen. Fear, fuck fear. There's no such thing as fear. I'm telling you. Like, if you allow fear to entertain you, you will be dancing with the devil. That's not biblical, but it should be. All right. Create the space for you to think freely. I just get it done. All right. Even if it's, you know what, honestly, even if it's in your bedroom, if your bedroom is cluttered, the energy is not going to flow. It's just not. Like for me, in order for Danny and I to like focus, we even have to have our drawers cleaned out. Like the energy just has to, it just has to move, right? In order for us to get like the juice is flowing. It's important. All right, make your dreams a reality by identifying your goals. These classes are big, but I still have to do this, so excuse me. Know what you want to accomplish and establish how you want and what you need to get there, right? This is good, be present. Have an eye towards the future, but focus on the now, right? Always have your goal at the end of every list. My goal has been to open up a store, to brand the Black home, to create products, to get clients, to get celebrity clients, right? And to make people happy and to be in a space where people can come, commune, meet each other, right? Love up on each other. I mean, it's COVID now, but it's gonna happen soon, right? But that's always been my goals, like my main goals. And I literally have done tiny steps for each to get to those goals. And it's so crazy because we were sitting down the other day, like, we need to write another list. Like, how did we just knock out all these goals? It didn't feel like a crazy thing to do because we took baby steps. You got this, all right? And to build a team to support your goals. Even if you barter and say, hey, listen, I can't pay you all this much right now. What kind of service can I do for you to help me with this? Until Microsoft did it. All those people who build Microsoft, they got stocks and shares. Believe in yourself. You can do this. You don't have to like run a full payroll, right? When you can, but you have to build that brand, and then everybody eats, right? That's what I did. That's what's working for me. So hopefully it'll work for you. All right. And that was me in a nutshell. So now that we're here and at the end of this wonderful class, oh my God, I've just been talking. I had to have bullet points because, child, I could talk to you all day. This class would be until 10 o'clock at night. So excuse me. I am Neffi Walker. And let me tell you a little bit about Creatively, right? Because I think that they're pretty awesome. Creatively is like LinkedIn. It just has all these components, right? If you need a web designer, look up one on Creatively. It's like Instagram, LinkedIn. It does everything you want, right? You can even find a job if you wanted in your field there, right? So maybe some people, they need a little step up, or they're trying to get to another place, right? Get it from Creatively. I think that it's awesome. I'm very happy that you guys have asked me to do this. I am a newbie, all right? And I feel like, my cherry was popped pretty well here. I appreciate you guys.
You did so great, Neffi. We have quite a few questions for you, if you're ready for them.
I am.
All right, amazing. We'll start with one from Young Lu, who asks, how do you manage the risks of entrepreneurship and avoid allowing financial uncertainties affect your creative output?
That's a great question. Well, when it comes to risks as far as financial for my business, right? I try to make sure that my home is always secure first, right? If it's something that I know that I need to invest in, I'm investing in it. That's it. Because I feel like the outcome is always going to be great. Now, there have been some things that I've invested in my business that have not been the best. Like I made some pillows once, and it was a total disaster. Like, how did I spend $1,500 on pillows? It was a learning lesson. But you're going to take risks And sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose, right? But you have to just try to figure out what is the smallest sum of loss, because you have to invest in yourself, period. Did I answer that question? Yeah.
You did. Thank you so much for the question, Young, and thank you, Neffi, for that response. We also have another question from Nick Price, who asked, are there any mantras that you repeat to yourself to stay focused on your missions?
Yo, yes. You know what I say? I'm gonna get this shit done. I'm gonna get this shit done. I don't need to sleep right now. Let me get this popping. You are great. You are amazing. You're gonna get this done. Like, it literally, like, sometimes when I'm feeling super lazy, and let me just state this because I didn't say this in the class, and I also feel like this is important. Because a lot of people have an issue with work-life balance, right? Work-life balance, no such thing, right? My body now at 46 is not the same body at 26, okay? Mama needs to sleep. I need to vacation. I need to sleep, right? And for me, it's a must, right? So I know where my limit is. Before, I used to work, and then I would get sick and end up in the hospital because I was, I was hustling hard. I was, ciao, bye. No, you will get this done. Even if it's, you will get this done, but you need a nap. I took a nap before. I'm asleep at 8 o'clock, 8:30 every night, right? I needed a nap before I came to talk to y'all, or else you wouldn't have gotten all this from me. You have to know your body, right? And you have to tell yourself, I say, you got this. You're gonna rock this shit out. It's gonna be amazing. That's it. All the time.
Thank you so much, Neffi, and thanks, Nick, for that question. We have another question from Brittany Sip, who asked, did you have any formal interior design experience when you started?
No. When I started, I didn't. I felt like when I started, just to backtrack, I redesigned my house, but because I was going through PTSD and like case of postpartum, I was literally in my friends' homes redoing their houses as well. So by the fourth house, my girlfriend, who's a lawyer, sat me down and said, you know what, baby, I think this is a business. You should try to figure this out, right? So at that time, I was going through but I didn't go to school. I'm not trained, imposter syndrome. I was doing all that to myself. I was talking fear to myself. For what? For nothing. I knew that I had an eye. I had a real strong knack for exactly what it is that I was doing, right? Along the way, I took classes. I took many classes. I took a gang of classes. I'm certified in a bunch of stuff like CAD, and like I can do a lot of formal things now, but I also hired people to do certain things per project. And that's the way that I was able to like figure that part out. But no, um, nope, sure didn't. Not when I started. The goal is to finish architectural school, just to say that I'm an architect, but I don't need it. I don't need any of that. Did Mark Zuckerberg go to school? All I got to say.
Thank you, Neffi. Another question we have is from Kelsey Link, and she says, I love all of this so much. I appreciate that many people have difficulty starting. I'm the opposite. I say yes to everything because I get excited and have so many passions. Any pointers on how to hone in on what to say no to?
What does your gut tell you that you shouldn't do? Do the things that you want to do. You can be great at everything. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. You can be multi-hyphenated. I think that's what the kids call it now, multi-hyphenated. It's really a thing, right? So there was a time where I said yes to all sorts of things just because I felt like I needed to please people. Figure out why you're saying yes to everything. Is it that? Because if that's the case, then you're going to burn out really quickly, right? Say yes to the things that float your boat. Say yes to the things that make you tick. Say yes to the things that make your heart and your mind feel like you're being creative. That's it. Say no to everything else because you only have 24 hours of the day. I know that Beyonce makes it look really simple, but that shit is really hard. So figure it out. Can't say yes to everything. Not everything.
Great advice, Neffi. Another question we have is from Jasenia Diaz. She asked, how do you maintain such laser focus and balance your time with so many people, from children to grandbabies to employees, looking to you for guidance, love, and assistance?
Now, if this is the Jasenia Diaz that I know now, you tried it. How do I maintain balance? I don't. I don't. I don't. I try my best. I on the list, I have a list of the things that I'm supposed to do, the things that I can get done, right? There was a time where I had to schedule, because I have 11 children. I had to schedule them per weekend. So one weekend I would spend time with Kawhi, one weekend I would spend time with Adonis. Like, just so that people and the people around me don't feel like I'm not present, right? I also taught everybody around me to know that I am still a human. I am still a woman and I need time for myself, right? So, balance is hard. I feel like in life we search for balance, and in life we search for love and hopefully peace, right? That's the way that I deal with that. Because yeah, you're right. Like, there are a lot of moving parts, especially now opening up a store. It's crazy. I want it now to be with me right now, but she'll be all up in the camera. Like, you have to know your limits. I'll see her later, right? I had a conversation with her about that. Like, being as communicative as possible with the people in your life to let them know exactly what it is that you're doing, and maybe they can help you along the way. If not, schedule time. Schedule time to love them. My time is so scheduled that on Tuesdays I call friends just to say hi, I love you.
I love that. Thank you, Neffi. We have another question from Nancy Martinez Sanchez, and she asks, what's your best top tier piece of advice to push forward or for motivation?
Oh, that's a good one. Piece of advice to push forward and for motivation. What do I do to push forward and to motivate me? I know that it's not just me, right? So with me comes a lot of responsibilities, right? Responsibilities, a lot of people that I love, right? I want to be happy. I want to be happy in my business. That pushes me to think of different processes to make that a possibility, right? I am pushed by knowing that at the end of it all will all be fine and everything will be great, right? It sounds so elementary, but I'm telling you, like, for me, it's just that simple. I'm pushed by knowing that I have other people watching me, right? And it is kind of my duty to be alert, to be present when I can, to help along the way, right? So, like, these things push me to be a better human and just to be better at business. That helps.
Amazing. And we'll do two more questions, Neffi. We have one from Sophia, and she asked, when changing the name to the Black Home, were you ever concerned about any hate or opposition that many times comes to businesses that are diverse and celebrate Black culture?
No. 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 I don't care. Again, that comes with the blocking naysayers out. It's interesting because when they had the whole support Black in June, because our people were being murdered, and other people wanted to support Black people and support Black business, I got a slew of new followers. A slew, thousands, until they realized how Black I was. with it real black, right? And then I saw that they just started trickling off, trickling off, trickling off. That's not my business, right? My business is to live in my truth, right? And my truth is always to help the Black community when I can, right? To be as honest as I can in helping the culture move forward, right? Like I have these goals for the business, and there's nothing and nobody can tell me anything different. I know, so no, I don't. It's the Black home. It's not the white home.
Thanks, Neffi. Your last question is from Cassandra Hardy, and she asks, where do you draw your inspiration from?
I draw my inspiration from our culture. I draw my inspiration from traveling as well. I love to travel. And honestly, from my children, they are hilarious. And to watch life through their eyes is super inspirational because I realize that they see a lot of things that I haven't caught yet. And it gives me time to review and like go through life a little bit slower, right? So I get inspiration from different cultures as well. And food, oddly. A lot of my color schemes come from plated food. Inspiration comes from anywhere. Inspiration comes from anything that makes you feel whole, I feel. It really helps for me.
All right, Neffi, that is it. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Creatively. And thank you, everyone, for joining this class. Thank you for being kind to me during this time. I hope that I have fed you with some nourishment, some creative entrepreneurish nourishment. That's not a word, but I made it a word. And you can find me at Neffi at the Black Home. No, you can find me at info at theblackhome.com, right? You can also find me on Instagram at Neffi Walker and at the Black Home Design on Instagram. Yeah? All right, great. DM me if you have any questions. If I have time, I'll totally answer you. I do to everybody anyway. I'm here, I'm present, it's social, it's great. We're all family. Nice warm hug. Bye.